Okay, so we're going to do E and F on page
21.
You have options. I'm going to show you two different ways. You can choose which way you like better. The first one is going along with what we said last time. Negative exponents become positive when you move them to the other side of the fraction line. So here we have z to the negative 8. We can move it down and multiply it by z to the 4th on the bottom of the fraction bar, and we get z to the 4 plus 8 is 12. And then because there's nothing left in the numerator, we put a 1 as our placeholder. So 1 over z to the 12th. That's one option. The other option is keep the base and subtract the exponents, which is the quotient property. So I keep the base of z and I subtract the exponents. Top exponent minus bottom exponent. That gives me z to the negative 8 minus 4, same sign, add and keep, negative 12. Then I make my negative exponent a positive fraction. So 1 over z to the 12th. Again, whichever options work best for you. How would we do that for F? So we can move w to the negative 4th to the bottom, w to the negative 10th to the top. We moved both this time because they both had negative exponents. Then our problem would be w to the 10th over w to the 4th. Keep the base, subtract the exponents. That's w to the 10 minus 4, which is w to the 6th. Don't have to go anywhere after that because the exponent's positive. The other option is to go straight to keep the base, subtract the exponents. This is working with integers. Top exponent minus the bottom exponent means I'm subtracting negative 10. So if I have negative 4 minus negative 10, two negatives, subtract a negative turns into plus 10. Different sign, subtract, take the sign of the larger number, so w to the 6th power.
Awesome. We're also going to do on page 21, we're going to go to problem E on this second section. So right here.
Just wanted to show you a quick property. Since we know that this negative 2 applies to both the numerator and the denominator, since it's in parentheses, it's all in those parentheses with the negative 2 out. We have two options again. We can go ahead and say power to a power. This gives me x to the negative 6 over y to the negative 8. And then they're both going to trade places because they both have a negative exponent. So the answer is y to the 8th over x to the 6th. Different bases, I can't go any further. Another option here, another property is if you have a fraction raised to a negative exponent, you can go ahead and do the reciprocal of that fraction, so switch the numerator and the denominator, and then the exponent turns positive. I like this strategy just so that I go ahead and make that exponent positive. Then when I do power to a power, I get y to the 8th over x to the 6th. So again, there's some options there.
All right, we're going to put it all together and we're going to go down to the bottom to page, well, the same page, and we're going to go to number 1. We're going to do this first one with you.
All right, so I'm going to look at things that have the same base. I'm going to separate my coefficients. I'm going to separate my fraction with a base of x. I'm going to separate my fraction with a base of y. So I'm going to say that this is negative 5 over 15 is being multiplied by x to the 6th over x to the 3rd, and that's being multiplied by y squared over y to the 5th. Now let's simplify. Negative 5 over 15 is just a fraction. It can be simplified by dividing the top and the bottom by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So I have negative 1/3 times. Keep the base, subtract the exponents. X to the 6 minus 3 is 3. Keep the base, subtract the exponents. Y to the 2 minus 5 is negative 3. All right, then we're going to go ahead, we can make this a fraction. Negative 1/3 times x to the 3rd times 1 over y to the 3rd equals, what's on top? Negative 1 times x cubed times 1. So negative x cubed or negative 1x cubed What's on bottom? 3 times y cubed, so 3y cubed. If you want to write this x to the third over 1, you can, so that you can see that that's the numerator, that's the denominator.
All right, we're going to do one more problem, and we're going to flip over to page 22, and we're going to do this challenge problem with you. Well, I messed up. Hold on, my bad. All right, so challenge.
There it is.
Here we go. This is the challenge problem on the bottom of 22.
All right, so we have options here again. There's always multiple ways to approach an exponents problem. As long as you're applying the properties correctly, then it really doesn't matter what you do first. I personally see that I have negative exponents applied to everything inside this parentheses. I know that I can change this exponent to a positive if I move this whole thing to the bottom. So I'm going to start off by rewriting my problem. Everything here is going to go to the bottom, 2a to the negative 3, b, c to the third, and this outside exponent can turn positive. Then I can do the same thing. Everything here moves to the top just the way you see it, because the only thing we're doing is changing the sign of this exponent. So it's 4a to the negative 3, b to the fifth, c to the negative 1 squared. Then I'm going to go ahead, because these are two different exponents, this 2 applies to everything in this parentheses. So I have to go ahead and do my power to a power property. And I get 4 squared, which is 16, a to the negative 6th, b to the 10th, and c to the negative 2. Divided by, this 3 applies to everything in the parentheses, every base in the parentheses. 2 to the third is 8, a to the negative 9th, b to the third, and c to the 9th. Now I'm going to kind of separate it so that I have like bases. 16 divided by 8 is 2. A to the negative 6th over a to the negative 9th. Again, you have options. You can just do negative 6 minus negative 9, which is negative 6 plus 9, which is a to the third power. Then we've got b to the 10 minus 3. 10 minus 3 is 7. Then we have c to the negative 2 minus positive 9. Negative 2 minus 9, same sign, add and keep, that's negative 11. Let me make a fraction bar, because this c has a negative exponent, so it's going to move to the bottom, become c to the positive 11, and 2a to the third, b to the 7th is on the top. And now I'm simplified.
All right, that's it.
All right, good luck.